Good morning, everybody. Welcome, and today we're going to be painting these Kabalite warriors. We're going to be using this scheme for an entire Drukhari army, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will get started with the painting. And first step is to do a base coat with Mephiston's Red. I used an airbrush. If you want to use a brush, go ahead, but I recommend using an airbrush so that you can get a nice smooth red finish. And after that, we're going to go ahead and do an edge highlight using Troll Slayer's Orange. I think it gives it a nice pop to it. A little bit of a fiery look to it, I know. But that's not the idea we're going for. We're not going for a fire warrior or anything like that. It's just that orange looks really nice with the red. And I think putting on a blue or a purple or a green or something would make it just a little too much. You know what I mean? But yeah. So moving on, we're going to be using Abaddon's Black to paint the chassis or body of the gun, leaving out that little circly thing, the oval magazine part. We're going to be painting that a Temple Guard blue in the next step, which is coming up right now. We're going to be painting it Temple Guard blue. You're going to want to get it a solid coat so that it looks bright, like it's a whole ball of energy that's just waiting to get shot out of the gun. We're also going to be doing this on the knife on the back and the horns on the helmet, as well as the little divot in the gun. I don't show the helmet and the knife in the next step because I forgot about them, honestly, and I went back afterwards and did them. But yeah. Now we're going to move on to doing the cloth, the loincloth, and I'm using Genestealer Purple. This is the color I wanted to use for the army. And it's just I wanted to use Genestealer Purple for it, but you can go ahead and use blue or red even, honestly. Pick whatever color you want to use for your clan distinction, but this one's mine, and it is what it is. So, we're going to paint the cloth here. That's going to go around the back as well as the center part of the horns. That's also cloth, or I see that as cloth, so I'm going to paint it as cloth. And yeah, so as you can see, I went ahead and painted the horns using Temple Guard blue, as well as the knife using Temple Guard's blue. I also put some Abaddon's Black on the handle and the little round thing on the side there. I used some Abaddon's Black there too. And now we're going to go ahead and use some Retributor's Armor Gold on the little nubbly things in the magazine. On the chain, there's going to be a little bit of a dry brush on the sights of the gun, as well as the detailing on the knife. I think that's going to look cool. It's going to give it sort of an elven look to it, you know what I mean? And it's just going to look a little bit more classy, like these guys are out hunting gold and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're going to move on from this. We're going to show you the knife here, which is what I'm going to do right now. Now, be careful with this here, because it's a little bit of a recess detail here, so if you get paint into the recesses, it's going to be a little bit tricky to deal with, just because of where it is, because those recesses are actually kind of small. You want to use a little detail brush if you do mess up. But yeah, the fun part about painting is, if you mess up, come back, fix it up. Or, if it's just a little dot, nobody's going to notice it from a tabletop distance, frankly. If your edge highlights don't look that good, put it on the table, stand back a couple of feet. Do you notice them? No. Well then, whatever. Also, I forgot to mention, we're going to paint the face gold as well, that face plate on the helmet. And then we're going to go in for some eyes. I'm using moot green for the eyes. I think it's a subtle difference between the purple or the gold, but it's enough to make it look cool. And it gives it just a little bit of a Necron vibe, albeit that's not what I'm not looking for a Necron here. It's what it does. But yeah. So after this, we're going to be doing a Nuln Oil wash. Going to be covering everything except for the magazine. I want the magazine to be a nice bright blue. And yeah, I think leaving the magazine alone gives it a nice shine to it. They're a nice contrast and pop to it. So yeah, we're gonna be putting null all over this place. It's gonna give it a nice deep red, but it's also gonna make it shiny, which I think is a nice touch to it and looks really cool once we're done. And once we're done with this entire army, I think it's gonna look awesome. So we're gonna finish this up here. We're also gonna paint the base using Abaddon's black. You can go ahead and base it. I personally don't base my minis, but you can do what you want. So that's gonna be it. Here's your Kabalite warrior, looking sexy, looking awesome. And yeah, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will be doing some Incubi next week, I believe. Next Saturday. Could be some Raven or Ravagers, something like that, but I'm not sure. We'll be doing some Drukhari stuff. That's going to be the theme of this year. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you all next time.